Joaquin is a somewhat scary storm, but no direct threat to the state of Florida. Jeff Huffman here from the Storm Center. The storm really strengthened quickly on Tuesday. It's encountering an environment that is now somewhat favorable for strengthening, and it looks like it's headed for South Florida. It's moving to the west and southwest toward the Bahamas, starting to show signs that the wind shear is relaxing. Notice the thunderstorms now starting to wrap on all sides of the developing system, and we're talking about a hurricane that's going to get very close to the Bahamas here late Wednesday into Thursday. And you're probably thinking, Jeff, it's headed southwest or west-southwest. Is this going to be a South Florida problem? Well, right now there is high confidence that it's going to slow down and turn to the north because of this big trough of low pressure that I'm going to show you here in just a minute, moving off the east coast. It's because of that trough, though, that really complicates the forecast future in terms of the track for this system, especially beyond Friday. The Hurricane Center has continued to emphasize that forecast confidence is rather low beyond Friday because of all the other factors at play here on where Joaquin may go. By the way, it could be a formidable hurricane, maybe even a Cat 2 when it makes that turn to the north. Notice the potential paths here, the different models, kind of all over the place beyond Friday, and they have trended a little further to the west. It's very possible that this trough of low pressure will pull the system back into the coast. Now, if that occurs, it's going to weaken quite a bit, but certainly the impact could be significant north and east of Cape Hatteras up the eastern seaboard. This big trough of low pressure, by the way, is being carved out by a cold front that's going to come through Thursday into Friday, giving us some great weather. The rainy season, I'm going to go ahead and say it now, is coming to an end across much of the peninsula this weekend, with drier air making it all the way to Miami. And look at that stripe of moisture. That's the system of tropical nature that's headed up the eastern seaboard. Once again, lots of uncertainty as to how that plays out as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Even though we're going to have great weather, just a heads up, beachgoers, look at these wave heights Friday into Saturday. Now, the highest waves, of course, will be offshore and east of that track of Joaquin, but we're going to see a pretty strong onshore flow develop and some choppy seas, maybe some minor beach erosion or minor coastal flooding this weekend. So keep that in mind. Once again, that's on the Atlantic side, probably through Sunday. But here's the best news of all. Rainfall amounts over the next 5 days, very little, if any, across the state. Stay tuned for updates on Joaquin here from the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network Storm Center.